Let's speak about nano dimensions, baby! What is happening, investors? It is your boy Jack. I am not a financial advisor, and today we are speaking about the company that is Nano Dimensions. So this is a company I originally covered back here. I believe it was the 14th of October, and they were at $3.65 a share. Now, I myself don't own a position, but they're up 125% since then. They've been up as much as 150%. I seem to have a knack for picking out cheap stocks, but not investing in them myself. If you saw OEG that I called a couple of days ago on YouTube, they went up 50% the following day. And yet again, I'm one of the people who didn't invest. So one of my big goals for 2021 is to start investing in these smaller cap companies and believe in myself a little bit more. But anyway, all of that is beside the point. I get asked about these guys so often. I'm not one of the people on YouTube who's covering these guys very, very much. There's a lot of people covering them a lot more than me. But some of you guys do still want my opinion. So, a few primary things I want to speak about today. We will, of course, speak about the price action, what I believe could happen next. We will speak about Nano Dimension pricing a $250 million registered direct offering, aka share dilution, and do I think it's a good or a bad thing with more of a long-term perspective. We will speak about what ARK Invest is doing, considering that yesterday they put over $30 million into this company, their 7th biggest investment of the day, into a stock that's less than $10 a share. Now, they also brought out this investor presentation right at the very end of November, so obviously it's a few weeks old, but there's a few points in there I want to speak about that I haven't covered in the past, and I want to speak about a few things that came out of their Q3 results, my friends. So, right before we do get into the video, can I please ask you to hit that juicy like button? If you hit the juicy like button, all of your speculative stocks will go up in 2021. It's a fact. Drop me a comment down below. What price did you get into Nano Dimension stock at, or are you like me and did you end up skipping on this one? And please, my friend, if you are new around here, hit that juicy red subscribe button. I appreciate every single one of you who has subscribed this year. You guys are the best. Also, if you want to join my private Discord group, that's the first link in the description, my friends. We have a Nano Dimension chat in there. A lot of guys were in there in the threes and even before the threes, making a lot of money. And if you want 4 free stocks on Webull, that's the second link in the description, my friends. Sign up to Webull, deposit $100, you get 4 free stocks, 2 of which are valued up to $3,700. It's the easiest money you'll make in your life. Now, in case you've no idea who Nano Dimensions are, this probably isn't the best video in the world for you. I'm not going to be speaking about the basics or anything. It's not a full stock analysis. I have videos on them. But Nano Dimensions are electrifying additive manufacturing. So 3D printed electronics, additively manufactured electronics, AME. They create intelligent machines, consumable, conductive, and dielectric ink materials. It's 3D printing essentially, guys. But they create things that are really complex and quite expensive. And their technology is immense. It's essentially removing the need for massive factories and putting it all into this relatively small box-looking machine. So you'll see they have these high-performance electronic devices. Circuit with capacitors, IoT access points. A lot of these things I don't even know what they are. But they're complex and they're expensive, and nobody else is 3D printing them. And this is potentially the most exciting bit. It's essentially a whole factory in a box, as I just said. I mean, all of this just stuck inside one of those boxes. It looks nice. But anyway, guys, I'm not going to go too much into that. We're going to speak about this next. Nano Dimensions prices a $250 million direct offering. Now, these shares are being offered at $7.50 a share. Obviously, you have a look at the stock's price. It was all the way up at $9. It's now at $8.15. It's actually green in the pre-market, but they have a history of doing this. They have a history of going on a nice run and then, diluting the share pool. They've literally been doing it since I started covering them all the way back here. Every couple of weeks they were coming out with a new offering. Now, with that being said, we knew about them. We knew that they would be coming through, looking through SEC filings, but it is something they have been doing continually. But the gross proceeds of the offering will be approximately $250 million, my friends. And let me tell you, that is a very, very large amount. I would like to point out to you guys as well that the market cap as of right now is only $1.13 billion. So that will, take effect. The company intends to use the net proceeds for working capital and for other general corporate purposes and pursuing strategic opportunities, including possible business combination transactions. So this is essentially the same line. They've just copied and pasted it from every other one of their direct offerings, which is a good thing. The plan has not changed. It would lead us to believe that they have some sort of decent plan in place on what they do intend to do with this money. They're not just raising it because they want some extra cash. It's not going to the executives or the CEO. It is most certainly going to be going to the business, and this is an exciting thing in all honesty. I know in the short term, direct offerings can make your shares worth a little bit less, but in the long term, if it puts that company in a better position, happy days. But if you look at this, ARK Invest went absolutely crazy yesterday and added essentially 3.6 million shares into their ARKW. So they started the position in the ARKW, and they also added over 100,000 more into their ARKQ. they loaded the boat. I mean, they're not too far off doubling their position. You can see that they were up at about 4.5 million shares total. Now the aggregate is 8.349 million shares, my friends. So I think ARK quite clearly actually likes that this direct offering is happening, which makes me feel better because I'm one of the people who has said many times on this YouTube channel that I like direct offerings. A lot of the time I like companies raising capital. Even if it hurts us in the short term, it should be better for us in the long term. And I think ARK Invest agrees, and they're excited to be seeing this company raising a further $250 million, my friends, because the thing that could do for this company's operations going forwards is fantastic, especially when you do have a look at their Q3 report. You'll see things aren't the best in the world. So they reported a revenue of $438,000 for the third quarter. Not 438 million, 438,000. And that's revenue. So they ended the quarter with cash and deposit balance of 45.72 million. Now that is including short and long-term unrestricted bank deposits. And the net loss for the third quarter was 20.716 million. You can kind of see why 250 million is a very, very big deal. But the CFO of the company explains it very simply. We projected starting April 2020 the reduced revenues in 2020 as a result of the Roni being prolonged and re-emerging crisis were in fact expected to be lower than what we have achieved. So they've actually done better than I expected. The revenues have seemed to already start a modest recovery in the fourth quarter of 2020. Now they say, as per above, we are not judging at this point our success by quarterly revenues. That will come later. And I think that is totally fair, my friends. I would like to remind you guys that a few months ago, this was a company with maybe a $200 million market cap. So just keep that in mind, okay? Quarterly revenues don't mean everything, especially not when it comes to growth stocks or penny stocks. I know this isn't a penny stock anymore, but you get the picture. Even look at Tesla. People did not judge them based off of quarterly revenues or profits or anything of the likes for a very, very long time. So this is fair. So yeah, revenue was 438,000 compared to 2.24 million in the third quarter of 2019. The decrease is attributed to continuing delays in identified transactions of Dragonfly Systems, with the company primarily attributes to the impact of the Roni. So that's fair enough, guys. They've essentially closed the sales. They just can't physically close them yet. R&D costs have gone up. Absolutely fine with that for this company. That is what this company is built on. And sales and marketing has actually gone up quite considerably as well. G&A went up massively, and that's attributed to an increase in share-based payment expenses. So fair enough. Net loss was $20 million. Yet again, though, that's attributed to share-based payment expenses of approximately $15.8 million. So yeah, it's okay. I love the product, okay? I love the fact that there is essentially an entire factory jam-packed into this box in a very quickly growing industry. I also love the fact that, where are we? ARK Invest is loading up. I mean, when it comes to innovation, a lot of people think ARK Invest are the best. They think their team's the best. They find these deals nice and early on. I would like to remind you guys that there was a stage before this that ARK Invest were heavily invested in Nano Dimensions, and they crashed absolutely horrifically, and ARK did ultimately end up selling their entire position. But the company has changed an awful lot since then. What I will say is I do think they're actually in a fairly fine cash position. As of November 23rd, cash $202 million, no debt. They're going to have another $250 million coming in now. I think they're absolutely fine. With that being said, total revenues from 2018 up until 2020 so far is only at about $13.5 million. We need that to go up. Revenue did grow 39% in 2019, but still it needs to go up considerably quicker in my opinion. When it comes to innovation, we generally pay premiums, and we pay based on what we expect to happen over the next number of years. But we need to start seeing something happening relatively soon. Now, when it comes to the stock chart, I think a lot of avid NNDM followers and investors will agree with me that this does not necessarily move like a normal stock by any means. It has really crazy moves at times. I mean, they're definitely no stranger to 10 to 15+% days. And that does make it, in my opinion, somewhat difficult to call where I think it's going to go. See, I had these trend lines drawn out quite a while ago, and we respected them for a long time. And if I actually go ahead and drag them out right here in front of you, we are still pretty much respecting them. We did come down below them for a while, we went right back up above them, but ultimately, there is a long-time trend here, and that is an upward trend, my friends. Now guys, I'm not investing in this company. I don't necessarily think the boat has left. I don't think, they are destined to come back down to $3, $4, $5 a share. Well, I do think they have a lot to prove over the next 2 quarters or so in particular. And if the Roni is to be prolonged, I think they have even more to prove. They need to show us how they can adapt very, very quickly. I do think these guys will prosper in a Roni-free environment though, so the sooner that happens, I believe the better it will be for this company. But price action wise, I followed this company for a long time, It does a lot of weird things. There is constantly news coming out about this company that can cause massive swings, literally within a 5, 10, 15 minute period. We've been trading above that 50-day moving average for a long time. The MACD was very bullish recently and it's come back down to neutral. The RSI is a little bit overbought, but nothing crazy whatsoever. It all looks pretty normal, and in all honesty, I'm going to be surprised if they don't go up a little bit again soon. At least back to where we were before, somewhere maybe in the high 9s, even the 10s. But anyway, my friends, that was it for my video on NNDM. I know there's a lot of people covering these guys, but I've been getting asked about them so much lately, I felt like making you guys a cheeky video. If you did enjoy this video, if you've watched this video all the way till the end, you, my friend, are a true legend, and I really do appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Your support this year means the world to me, and I'm excited to go into 2021 with you guys. If you did enjoy the video, could I please ask you to hit that like button? That's the easiest way that you can support me. It genuinely means the world to me. Drop me a comment down below, let me know what you think about the company, and please, my friend, do subscribe if you're new around here. It means the world to me. Also, again, if you are interested in that private Discord group, that is the first link in the description. You get my buy and sell alerts, you get access to over 40 private channels. We have some exciting things coming in 2021, but Patreon charges the first of every month, so wait till January. And if you want those 4 free stocks on Webull, that's the second link in the description, my friends. But anyway, guys, I hope you all have an absolutely beautiful day. I'll see you for another video very soon. Peace.